What if everything you depended on suddenly disappeared? What if the success, comfort, or happiness you had was just gone one day? Would you chase what's next or stay frozen in fear? This is the story of Who Moved My Cheese, a story that teaches us a lot about change, fear, and how we can grow if we embrace uncertainty. In this video, I'll walk you through the book, share my personal lessons, and break down the wisdom that can help you face change head-on. Chapter 1. The Gathering. The story begins with a group of old friends at a reunion. They start sharing their experiences with change. One friend shares a tale about 4 characters in a maze, and from there, the book takes us on a journey about life's biggest challenge: changes. There are 4 characters in this story: Sniff and Scurry, 2 mice who rely on instinct, and Hem and Haw, 2 little humans who are more emotional and fearful. They all live in a maze searching for cheese. But the maze isn't just a maze. It represents life, and the cheese is what we want: success, happiness, or comfort. The maze will challenge them, just like life challenges us. The 4 characters find Cheese Station C, a place full of cheese. Sniff and Scurry keep their instincts sharp and constantly check the situation. But Hem and Haw settle in, comfortable with what they have. They think the cheese will always be there. They stop adapting and forget to keep moving forward. This is where we often fail in life. We get comfortable and forget that change is always around the corner. And one day, the cheese disappears. Sniff and Scurry don't hesitate. They adapt, they run. But Hem and Haw? They panic. They blame the world. They wait, hoping the cheese will return. Sometimes in life, when things go wrong, we waste time waiting for things to get back to how they were instead of moving forward. And you know what's next? Hem refuses to leave. He fears the unknown. He says, "I deserve my cheese." Haw starts to realize change is inevitable. He knows that if he doesn't act, he'll be stuck. This is where I learned a big lesson. Fear is real. But when you face it, you realize that staying still is the worst option. Sometimes we need to ask ourselves, what would I do if I weren't afraid? For me, facing fear isn't about waiting for things to get better. It's about choosing to move in a new direction. Eventually, Haw decides to move forward. He writes on the wall, "If you do not change, you can become extinct." He's afraid, but he takes that first step. He learns that sometimes, instead of moving forward, you need to change your behavior. Fear can move you into action, but it can also paralyze you. Too much fear makes you avoid change, and that's when you end up stuck in the same place. Haw learns that by changing his thinking, he can change his life. As Haw moves through the maze, he writes down powerful messages for himself and anyone else who dares to follow. Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old. Movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. These messages remind him, and us, that change is necessary. Holding on to the past only keeps us from the future. Haw's journey is about embracing change, learning to let go, and trusting the journey ahead. Finally, Haw finds Cheese Station N, a place full of fresh new cheese. And guess who's there waiting for him? Sniff and Scurry. They adapted early, moved fast, and found their new cheese before Haw. Haw feels grateful. He smiles, but he's also learned something. Life is about adaptation, not waiting for everything to return to normal. If you want new cheese, you need to be willing to move in new directions. It's all about letting go of old patterns, old comfort zones, and creating space for something new. And finally, the story ends with the friends from the reunion reflecting on their lives. One friend realizes he's been stuck in a job he doesn't like. Another understands that his fear of change has held him back. They're inspired by Haw's journey. They realize that change is not something to fear, but to embrace. Here's what I've learned. When change happens in your life, don't be afraid. Sometimes change can lead to a new and better journey. Ask yourself, what would I do if I weren't afraid? And when fear sets in, move anyway. Because fear can prompt action, But too much fear can keep you stuck in the same place. Change your behavior, change your thinking, and find new cheese. It's not easy, but it's worth it. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And remember, you're always one brave step away from finding your new cheese.